Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the Silver Surge Sports Enthusiast and Pop Culture Channel. I am always again your host, Silver Surge, and thank you so much for watching my videos. I really do appreciate all of your support. Whether or not it's interesting to you, just the fact that you're watching my videos means that you're doing me a service, so I appreciate that. Anyway, today I'm going to be covering a little nugget from the past, and that little nugget is PlayStation All-stars Battle Royale. That was a fighting copycat-esque game of Smash Brothers that was released back in 2012. It failed considerably as they were trying to reinvent the wheel and make their own playstyle. The concept was great, the fighting characters were great, the stages were fantastic, but it just flopped because they, again, like I said, tried to create their own fighting style, I guess. They had no off-the-screen KOs, you were boxed in, and you had to rack up percentage damage. And they had things that were like ultimate moves, kind of like a Final Smash, but it just wasn't the same. And it was really disappointing because I loved the idea. And as a big Smash Brothers fan, I was really hoping that they could take it and run with it, and not really try to take anything away from Smash, but just kind of have their own rendition version of it for PlayStation. I thought that would have been really fantastic, but as you would know if you've heard of the game, the series didn't do well, and it died off after the first game. So today's video is more of like an analysis of what would happen if they made a reboot. And I think that was a really interesting topic to discuss because given how Smash Brothers is taking forever to give us another update, I wanted something to kind of keep my mind off of it because we've been waiting and waiting for another Smash-themed Direct, and the last shred of Smash news we got that was brand new was Isabelle in September. And there was a lot of speculation that we were supposed to get a Direct today from, people who've been analyzing what they've been doing and micro-analyzing every move that Nintendo and Smash Bros. Makes. They uploaded their YouTube channel, or updated, I should say, with a character slot, I think. So they were all like, oh, we're getting another announcement sometime today, but it never happened, So this is like my way to cope and get my mind off of it for at least this video. So, and I thought it was an interesting topic, like I said. So I'm going to be diving into my cast of characters I think would be fantastic to add if they had a reboot. And then I might extend this into a 2 or 3 part series talking about stages and a rename of what assist trophies might be. But yeah, so I'm going to start off with just a basic list of characters I thought would be great for a sequel. But before I do that, I'm going to start with characters that were already in the original PlayStation All-Stars game that I decided to cut. And I thought these characters were worth cutting because I didn't think they were very relevant in the PlayStation universe anymore. And keep that in mind, this is my opinion. For those who watch, I don't mean to offend if you disagree with my opinion. I'm not saying this to upset anyone. This is just my thoughts. I could be off base. According to your perspective, I could be completely wrong, but this is just my thoughts. So, the characters that I cut from PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale were Fat Princess. I thought she has no real relevance in PlayStation at all. Sir Daniel Fortask, he's more of an iconic old PlayStation character, but I just didn't think he was really that important anymore. Sackboy from Little Big Planet. He was popular at the time this original game was made, and he had two games made, but Sackboy just isn't really relevant, in my opinion, anymore, and it's kind of gone by the wayside. I cut out Spike from Ape Escape. That's an old game. That's not really huge. It's got a lot of retro feel to it, and I understand why they included him in the original game, but I just don't see the need to bring him back. And then the same goes with Sweet Tooth, that fiery clown from the Metal series, I think. It's like an entertainment fighting game, but I didn't think those 5 were worth bringing back if they were to do a sequel, so I cut them out from the original 24 characters that were in the base roster. So now I'm going to go quickly into the roster that I formed without taking too much time to go through this, because I have a list of 47 characters, I believe. 47, I believe. And that, more than doubles. Well, almost doubles, I should say. Doubles would be 48. So just under doubles the amount that was in the original roster. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. I started off with Donnie Walsh from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. He's the specialist and part of the main group of characters. And I believe that Donnie would be a great addition to PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale because I think he's He's a really scruff, masculine character. I don't play Call of Duty very much, so I don't know his real origins. But I just think based on previous installments, he'd be a really great character to include. I think he would be a fan favorite, at least from his inclusion. And just my opinion, I think Donnie would be a fantastic fit for a PlayStation All-Stars reboot. Next, we're going to go into Overwatch. Of course, you have to include Overwatch. That's literally the biggest game for Blizzard right now. I play it currently. I'm a Diva main, but I did not include her in this roster. But I would give her a special shout out because I was borderline wanting to include her, but I didn't. So you have to include the mascot, which is obviously Tracer. She would be a perfect quick, agile type character, with her teleportation ability. She would be great. And then Reaper with his stealth, he could, do similar to Tracer. He could teleport around the stage, but I think his guns are what make him more relevant and prominent. His really powerful mech breaking guns, or tank breaking guns, I should say. Soldier 76 was my third and final choice, and I know all three of them are shooter gun type characters, but I just think they were really good representation, and they're three of the most popular characters in Overwatch. And I just think that Soldier 76 would bring a lot of balance as far as being a shooter and an assault character. So I just think he'd be really fun, and the alternate skins you could have, the possibilities would be really fantastic. You could just take direct copies from Overwatch, or you could take stuff from Heroes of the Storm. I think that would be kind of fun. Moving on, we have just the Monster Hunter from Monster Hunter series. I chose that Rathalos red armor that they include. It's a really popular armor, and I don't know if it has a specific name because I don't play Monster Hunter, but it was a costume in Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS for your Mii. So I'm including that red spiky Rathalos armor, and I think that would be a great aesthetic for the Monster Hunter character. So he's a single representative from Monster Hunter, and you can play as both the male and the female. And then moving on, we have from BioShock, we bring back the Big Daddy from BioShock, the original, and BioShock 2. I like the Big Daddy bouncer, the one with the spherical head and the humongous effing drill. That's my favorite rendition of the Big Daddy. The Rosie Big Daddy is pretty cool, but you can't beat the classic. So I chose the Big Daddy bouncer, and then I bring in from BioShock Infinite Elizabeth. Now I think Elizabeth would be a very unique character because she has psychic powers, the ability to teleport and gravitate things, and I just think she'd be a really unique, interesting character to include in an all-star fighter game. So while we're on the subject of BioShock, I wanted to show you a fun little piece since I have collectibles. I have an Elizabeth NECA figure, which I think is really, really beautiful. Her dress is just this nice fabric cloth. I don't really know what it's made out of, but it's an expensive figure. I think I spent like $40 something 2 years ago on it. So I have a stand for her, but it doesn't really work very well. But yeah, I have an Elizabeth figure, and then I also have, which is really cool, I bought this at a store. I have the Songbird statue that came with a pre-order, I think, or the Ultimate Collector's Edition. I didn't get it, but I found it in a store one day, and it was on sale, so I ended up buying that. So I have the Songbird statue and the Elizabeth figure, so they kind of go together from Infinite. So I think those are really cool. I don't know if I can give you a closer look of the Songbird statue, but yeah. There you go. That's really cool. So yeah, it's got its piercing claws on top of the George Washington looking platform, and you can see it's laying on the head. Yeah, and then it's got its huge wingspan, and then it's got its claw, and then the intimidating eye. So yeah, so that's that, and yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, so my two BioShock characters are Elizabeth again from Infinite, and then the Big Daddy Bouncer from the original and 2. Next, moving on, we have a character that was already in the original series. I just decided to bring back Radic from Killzone. I think he's popular enough that he would be warranting a return. Then we move on, we have Raiden from Metal Gear. Again, was in the first game. I think deserves another slot. Now we have God of War. We have 3 representatives now. But first we had 2. We had Kratos, the mascot, of course, and then Zeus was included as DLC originally, but now he's on the base roster. And I included one more character, which was Poseidon. And I think Poseidon, even though he's not in the most recent God of War, he was in God of War 3, would be a great character. And his water moveset would be kind of unique and fun aspect to add to the game. And I'm a little biased because Poseidon is my favorite Greek god, so I think that would be fun. Then we have 3 representatives from Tekken. We originally had Heihachi, and now I've included Asuka and Jin from Tekken 7 as well. And those 2 were in the top 10, I think, most popular Tekken characters of all time. And recently, I should say, maybe not all of all time, but recently. And I think those 3 characters would be great representation. Having Jin, Asuka, and Heihachi would be great Tekken representation. Next, we have Destiny. I have the Hunter and Titan class, and I chose those 2 because I prefer those over the Warlock. And I think this one would be kind of unique and fun because the Titan and Hunter class, you could have like 5 or 6 default skins and give them slightly different weapons per skin, I think, which would kind of make them like, I don't know, 12 unique characters in 2. So I really would love that, and of course, as they would be announced on the character selection screen, they would just be listed as Hunter and Titan. But I think that'd be really, really fun to add. Then I have one character from Fortnite. I have the Fortnite default fighter, and it's just the basic skin you start with that has the camo boots, the camo pants, and the green shirt and tank top, or whatever you want to call it. And it comes with a pickaxe, so I didn't really have a specific name for it. I just called it the Fortnite Fighter. And Fortnite is one of the most popular games out right now for both PC, Xbox, PlayStation. It's multi-platform. It's even on Switch now. And I think Fortnite definitely would have earned a spot on this roster if they were to make a sequel. Next up, we have more representation from a new series. We have Assassin's Creed. I chose 2 characters from Odyssey, the most recent rendition of Assassin's Creed. I chose Alexios and Cassandra, the Spartan male and female protagonist. And then I chose Redon. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think he's from Black Flag and 3, from Assassin's Creed 3. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Raduhan Gadon. Raduhan Gadon. That's a tongue twister. Raduhan Gadon. He's the assassin from Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed 3, with the British, invading on U.S. soil. So that, I think, would be 3 great characters to add from Assassin's Creed. Going back down the list now, we have 3 more from Fallout 4. And I chose Soul Survivor, both the male and female variants, Vault Boy, the mascot, and then we have Power Armor. And I think Power Armor would be a great, unique character to have from Fallout 4, because that's like another thing you recognize from the Fallout series is just the power armor that they wear. So I think that would be fun as its own character. Valkyria Chronicles series is pretty popular. They just came out with Valkyria Chronicles 4 not too long ago. I don't personally know the series, but I looked up popular characters, and I guess Claude Wallace, Raz, and Riley Miller would be 3 of the most iconic characters, I think, at least from the most recent Valkyria Chronicles 4. So I chose Riley Miller, Raz, and Claude Wallace. Then we have a lot of single representation down my list. I have Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. She's kind of a no-brainer because she's the main character. Same with Lara Croft and Tomb Raider. Then I have Isaac Clarke returning to the roster from Dead Space. Dante makes a return from Devil May Cry. Ratchet and Clank, you can't miss those. Sly Cooper, same situation as Ratchet. Same with Jak and Daxter. So you have Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, and Jak and Daxter. You have to include those 3. Those are, 3 more iconic PlayStation characters you cannot make a fighting game without. I included Parappa the Rapper. I almost cut him from my original list, but seeing how he's an extremely old PlayStation character, and he does have a little bit of a retro appeal, I decided to keep him. Then I have Nariko from Heavenly Sword. She was in the original base roster as well, so I have her making a return. I also have Nathan Drake from Uncharted 4, and the main Uncharted series, he's the main character. So Now we have from Resident Evil, I chose to do two popular characters. I think these are two of the more popular characters from the Resident Evil franchise. We have Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine. And I think those two would be great, unique characters to add as well. So, and they give Resident Evil a little bit of pop. Then we have Cole McGrath and Evil Cole McGrath, who make a return from Infamous, and they were also in the base roster from the first game. Then we're moving on. We have Dragon Quest characters. This is one that I know people will like. I chose Martina because she's a main recent character, I should say, and I like her spear. I think she'd be a unique fighting skill moveset you could make. Then I have Bianca Whittaker, of course. She's one of the more popular Dragon Quest characters, and I chose Angelo for some male representation. So again, from Dragon Quest, I have got Martina, Bianca Whittaker, and Angelo. Emmett Graves comes back from Starhawk. He was in the first game, and then we have Kat from Gravity Rush, and then Toro Inoue. Inoue, I think. I don't know how you pronounce it, but he's the mascot from Sony in Japan. He's that little white cat marshmallow thing. So yeah, I have a wide variety of characters, 47 in total. I've got 3 Overwatch representatives, 1 from Call of Duty, 1 from Monster Hunter, 2 from Bioshock, 1 from Killzone, 1 from Metal Gear, 3 from God of War, 3 from Tekken, 2 from Destiny, a Fortnite character, 3 Assassin's Creed characters, 3 from Fallout, 3 from Valkyria Chronicles, 1 from Horizon Zero Dawn, Tomb Raider, Dead Space, Devil May Cry, Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, Parappa the Rapper, Heavenly Sword, Uncharted 4, 2 from Resident Evil, 3 Dragon Quest characters, 2 Infamous characters, a Starhawk character, and a Gravity Rush character. And then Inoue. So I think that would be a nice, big, unique roster of characters to include. And I just thought it was really a great way to bring back that franchise. And like I said, if they were to take the Smash Bros. Engine and just work from it from there, again, I don't think there's any copyright infringement on it, at least not to my knowledge. So they would have to probably talk to them about it. But I think PlayStation really missed the boat here with the first game and trying to make their own rendition and make it completely different, because it just failed horribly. And I really would like to see a reboot, because given how I am such a strong Smash Brothers supporter, I think a PlayStation All-Star game that was of equal caliber wouldn't necessarily take sales away from Smash Bros, but it'd be a great parallel, I should say, rival. So that would be really fun, and you can never beat Smash Bros for what it is. It'll always be the king, but I think PlayStation All-Stars definitely deserves a reboot, and I called it PlayStation All-Stars Revival, and I think that'd be a very strong name. So, yeah, so that's my list of characters. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you get a chance to see this video. If you think there's any characters I should include or that I maybe missed on, or if you think I'm wrong about, or if you have your reasons for what you think would be, a better inclusion. Yeah, just be sure to share your comments. I like feedback. Anything helps. I do appreciate any kind of feedback, so that's always a good thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I did enjoy sharing my character list, and I do think I will make a second, if not third video about PlayStation All-Stars, a revival. So the next rendition I think I'll do will be covering stages and maybe like another name, like I said, for assist trophies. So that'll be kind of fun. But anyway, that concludes this video, guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Please be sure, if you haven't done so already, to hit that like and subscribe button at the very bottom of the screen. I would really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, you have a great rest of your day. I will see you all next time. God bless.